Hello, everybody. It is I, Friendly Neighborhood INFP, and welcome back to another one of these late night rambles where I don't have, I guess, a um, set directive to go on. I don't have a linear path that I'm focusing on. I mean, I kind of do, but I also kind of don't. That's, kind of the point of these. And there's also not much editing that's done to them. Not that there's much editing done to the others, but continuing on, I would like to talk about Homestuck. Now, it might be a little weird that you're thinking, well, why are you talking about Homestuck? Like, what's so special? Like, I just finished reading Homestuck yesterday, and I wanted to say some things about it because I spent 4 days roughly reading 4,000 of Homestuck pages, not book pages, because, oh boy, nobody can do. Well, there are probably some people who could do that in 4 days, but in either case, I read within 4 days: Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. 5 days? From Sunday to Thursday, I read over 4,000 pages because I was already at the 3,000 mark. And I finished it. And you might be wondering, like I said before, why am I talking about it? Because, like, Homestuck isn't really in the personality sphere. And that is where you are wrong. But before we go on, for the Homestuck fans out there who are like, but what is your sign? What is this? Or what is that? I, as a Heir of Heart, Saggio, Durst Dreamer, and I believe there's one more, let me try and remember it, Indigo Star. I think that's it. Saggio, Indigo Star, Durst Dreamer, and Heir of Heart. In Homestuck terminology, you guys should know what that means. And there's the information for you. And the reason why I brought out that information is because in all of that I just gave, there is personality traits listed in it. There's going to be personality traits listed with what planet you dream in, whether it's Prospect or Durst. There's going to be personality information as to what your star is, not, astrology or whatever, although it is kind of like Homestuck's version of astrology, but there is information in how your star works, or your star color, which in my case is indigo. There is going to be there's going to be personality traits within the color itself, which I believe relates or has been put together in the way that okay, so if you read color theory, and if you read personalities based off of colors and what colors represent personality-wise and emotionally and all of that, each color represents something. So in the same form, the Indigo Star represents that plus astrology combined into one, if that makes any sense. But it's more on the color side and not so much on the astrology side. It is what it is, and it's a little more complex than I perhaps know what to do with. Then you have the class and the aspect. The heir will give you how you use, or the class, sorry, will give you how you use your aspect, which in my case is heart. There are, I want to say, 12 aspects as well. Allow me to try and go through this. There is space, there is time, there is light, there is doom, there is heart, there is okay, there's 5. There is mind, there is hope, there is life, there is I got this, give me a second. There is life, there is, I got hope, got life, got doomed, mind, I'm missing some. I'm pretty sure I'm missing some. Let me go over all the characters and see what I've got. Breath. There's Breath. Can't believe I forgot the main character, Breath. So there's Breath. Light. Void. Almost forgot about Void. Two more. Okay, so we've got Blood. And there is okay. There's one more. There is one more. I'm being quiet and I'm not being like super excited because once again these are late night rambles. I have to be quiet. Of course I'll bump up the volume and all of that. It'll be fine. But if you're not seeing me go wee, that's why. Right, the last one. Going over all the trolls. So we've got There are 12 trolls and each of them represent a different aspect. So which troll? Rage. There are the 12 aspects. And each of those aspects represent a certain personality trait. And depending on what your personality trait is going to relate to how it fits your class. Like how your class deals with that aspects. And then it brings you about what people in the Homestuck community know. Not that I'm like super into the Homestuck community, even though I'm kind of like obsessed with like some of the art and like music and animations that have been done. But I digress. If you haven't read it, read it. It's great. It's granted you're going to be going over 8,000 pages, but it is definitely a ride, even though it starts off slowly. So as I was saying, not the second thing, geez, even I'm going a little kooky. The second thing is that it has, or the, whatever, you know what I'm trying to say. I'm a little out of it too. Like these are, I'm doing this at, hold on. I am recording this at 3 a.m. Whenever you guys see it, I don't know. Probably shortly after I record this because I'm not going to bed until I boost up the volume, edit, send it out, and it's all that. Not that I'm going to be doing much cutting or anything like I usually do. But continuing on. Depending on what your class aspect is, or classpect, whatever you want to call it, depends on how you deal. So whatever your class is depends on however you deal with the aspect. Some are meant to destroy their aspect or destroy with their aspect. Some of them are supposed to become one with their aspect in some way, shape, or form. I believe that is the heir and the witch. I am an heir, and then other people are witches. Although, don't quote me on that, Homestuck fans. I'm not fully aware as to how everything works. I was just reading the comic, I was enjoying the comic, and holy crap, there's a lot with the comic. Princes and bards tend to destroy their aspect or destroy with their aspect. Then you have the mind, and then you have, like, not the mind. The mind is an aspect, not a class. You have the knight, you have the prince, you have... You get the point. You can look it up. Not the point of me trying to explain how everything in Homestuck works. You can look it up yourself. So, going on from there, because of this, it presents a kind of interesting connection to me in MBTI. See, this is why I'm bringing up this subject. Because you can take a lot from MBTI and throw it into how some of the class specs work. And even give some of those class specs more information if you were to merge it both into one thing. So, for example, I am an INFP, Heir of Heart. Anyone who is who understands what that means, the Heir of Heart, it would be like, yeah, INFP makes sense. It would be like saying I'm a 4 with, what is it, 3 or a 5, or is it a 6? I don't understand how Enneagram works either, but it would be like saying, yeah, I'm a 4 with whatever wing, and you're like, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Or I'm a 9 with 1, and people are like, oh, yeah, that makes sense for you to be an INFP with that. What, wouldn't perhaps make sense, it would be to say, oh, yeah, I'm an INFP with a 2 with, I don't know, whatever the wing is. Once again, I don't know much about Enneagram, and I do not set out to know much about Enneagram, aside from the bare minimum. It's not my thing. I don't care for it. Other people can go and do it. Sure, I'll read about it, but it's not my thing. I don't do it. Although you could take Enneagram and insert it into the Homestuck personality profiles as well. Or what some of the fans could do is take MBTI, Enneagram, or whatever personality profile they want, and see who, the fans who have a better understanding of how the personalities and classes and yada 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 work. They can combine it into something a little more detailed, perhaps, so that everybody can understand. Like, yes, there are some people who have written wonderful works as to how the personalities of those aspects works, and they've done fantastic jobs. I think a person by the name of Dahli, Dahli, is that how you pronounce? Is that her name? I'd have to look it up. Once again, this is a ramble. But she does a wonderful job on describing the class specs and all of that, and some of her things go into even further detail. And who knows, maybe it is because she's, studied up on MBTI that she knows all this stuff. I don't know. But, she's done a fairly decent enough job for me to acknowledge that this is legit pretty good personality psychoanalysis going on here. And of course, that is helpful because when you're trying to figure out what your class is, to know your aspect and then go and see your classes. Now, obviously, you might not know what your aspect is, so which is why you'd have to look at both class and aspects, hence the class specs. Wow, I'm saying that a lot. I must be tired. Anyways, going on from there, we have the details of the personality that allows you to figure out what you are, like I was saying. And this is where, as I was saying before, MBTI, Enneagram, Socionics, if you want to even step over there, I'm staying far away from that. Just so we're clear, I'm staying far away from Socionics. Most of the stuff that I know about Socionics is that the last letter is the inverted one. So, for example, an INFP in Socionics is an INFJ in MBTI. I'm sure there are some exceptions to that rule, but I do not know what they are because, once again, I'm staying even further away from Socionics than I am from Enneagram. It's just my thing, just my preference. Just stay with it. And the last thing I wanted to say about this is, yes, I have, in fact, typed all of the characters. I have assessed as best as I could what each character's personality trait is. And and no, I'm not going to be going over them. No, I'm not going to be going over the characters. No, I'm not going to be doing any of that stuff. At least not until later. By later, I mean, I don't know. Should this video get over 100 likes, I'll do it then, and then I will pick a character who you guys really want to see me talk about and psychoanalyze down to their deepest core that I possibly can hypothesize on. Does that make me sound like a Mage of Light or an Heir of Heart? I'm not entirely sure anymore because I'm all about the introspection and knowing who I am full stop. But I also enjoy knowing what other people are. And yes, I do enjoy my ships. And yes, I do have my own Homestuck ships as well. And no, I'm not going to play Nepeta's theme when I mention that either. Nice try. But with that being said, if you guys enjoyed this video, if you guys enjoyed my inane ramblings at this late of a night, do hit a like, share the video, and subscribe. And of course, you know, should this video get over 100 likes and whatever, and whichever comment down below wins, in that case, I will do a character review, and then I'll continually do character reviews hence going forward, but not until then. Give people something to be motivated for, I suppose. But I'm going to end it here. I'm going to edit, and then I'm going to crash and go to sleep. With that being said, I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.